Alright guys, welcome back to Days of Darkness and welcome to my I almost said review. Welcome to my trailer analysis for The Exorcist Believer. So unfortunately I was not able to get to Pearl this week. It's been quite a busy week for me. It's funny how that works, right? I take this mental health break and then I'm like, I'm back, and then shit gets thrown off. But it happens, we roll with the punches here on the channel. And I knew I wanted to talk about something. And as soon as I first saw the trailer for The Exorcist Believer, I was like, alright, at some point I need to fucking talk about this on the channel. And just so happened, I really didn't have time to watch any kind of movie this week at all. So I'm like, you know what? I have time to watch a 3-minute trailer. Let's fucking do it. And I'll start by saying this. For those who have been watching the channel for a significant amount of time, you know, I've reviewed The Exorcist already. If you haven't, go back on the channel and check that review out. But for those who don't know, The Exorcist is one of my favorite fucking horror movies of all time. It's in my top 5, easily. I know I did my top 25 horror films of all time. And the nature of lists like that with me is it always fluctuates. Like, I'm sure if I go back and look at that list now, I'll be like, I'd switch this out with that, and yada, yada, yada. Exorcist is consistently in my top 5. Like, that's pretty well a given. My top 5 is usually fixed. Halloween being my favorite of all time, but Exorcist is usually hovering around the 3 and even the 2 spot. Like, it's fucking up there for me. So when I heard that this movie was going to happen, which we've been hearing about this for a while, even when the Halloween series was wrapping up, the new Halloween series, we knew that Exorcist was going to be the next project for David Gordon Green. And I was really, really curious what that would look like and what that would sound like. And so obviously when this trailer first dropped, I was all fucking over it. But long story short, I just wanted to see what it would feel like to see any sort of modern take on a story like The Exorcist. And I gotta say, from the trailer itself, I think it looks pretty fucking rad, man. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the idea of of Pazuzu, which I'm assuming it is Pazuzu given some of the lines we get in the trailer. I like the idea of Pazuzu being powerful enough to possess 2 young girls at the same time, and some of the crazy shit that could lead to in the film. I love the idea of that. I think that has a lot of potential. I love the fact that we get Ellen Burstyn back. I thought that was really cool. 90-year-old Ellen Burstyn still fucking going hard. I love it. It's good to see her back. I know I've been hearing rumblings about Linda Blair. I'm not going to speak on that because I'm not sure where she lies as far as The Exorcist is concerned. You know, I know when that original film came out and people were legitimately, like, hazing her and, like, being just awful because she played this role in a fucking fake movie. She had some bad experiences with people after that movie came out. So I don't know how she would feel about being in it. She's not in the trailer or anything like that besides a little picture of her. So I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe it's because this had to be a trilogy. So maybe she comes out in a later movie. I don't know. But it is cool to get Ellen Burstyn back. And overall, man, I think they nailed making it feel like an Exorcist sequel. It doesn't feel like a generic possession movie, because now it's like we just have possession movies left, right, and fucking center. That's like a major subgenre of the horror franchise, or the horror genre right now, is possession films. So it's going to be interesting to see how this film differentiates itself from, you know, a Conjuring or a fucking anything, you know. But yeah, man, overall, I think the trailer itself looks cool. I think it looks like a cool movie. It's definitely a day one viewing for me. There's just no doubt that's definitely going to happen. My concern mostly lies with a couple things, and it's really nothing from the trailer itself. I just know that modern takes on classic horror films can sometimes go down some tricky paths. And that's either on a production side of things, and that can be on an audience side of things. And I see potential for both sides to get kind of muddy. As far as production is concerned, I think David Gordon Green is a perfectly good filmmaker. I've enjoyed a lot of the stuff that he's done. Say what you will about the Halloween franchise and the direction that was taken. I still think the guy knows what he's fucking doing, and the guy loves horror, so I don't have a single problem with him being the one to take on this challenge, as lofty as a challenge as it is, because holy fucking shit. I think my only concern with this would be, I hope they focus on making this its own movie. I mean, obviously the movie's wrapped by now if trailers are coming out and shit, but I really hoped that they focused on paying, we said it multiple times on the channel with remakes or legacy sequels or anything like that. Pay homage to that original film, show it love, but don't focus so much on just being like that movie. And obviously they're taking steps to differentiate themselves with the two possessed girls and yada yada yada. Obviously it's not a carbon copy movie. I just really hope that they focused on making this its own thing. Because let's face it, and this will kind of lead into the fan side of things, because honestly, I think the fan reaction is what I'm most concerned about. Because you look at The Exorcist, and you look at the time period that was released in, no one had really experienced anything like that. Like, it was just not... It was not a thing. That movie was getting banned in multiple countries. Fucking just all sorts of crazy shit. People were throwing up and passing out in the theater. It's just, no one was ready for a movie like that. And that's part of what makes that movie so fucking awesome. Is that it came out at a time where you did not get shit like that ever. And now it seems like we have a movie like that every fucking year. As far as like a possession movie, not to the level of The Exorcist, but you get what I'm saying. Possession films are just a thing now. And I'm really hoping that people don't go off of like, oh, it's not as good as the original. It's not supposed to be. I'm not expecting this to supersede the original. I'm not expecting it to live up to those standards. This is what I was talking about on the production side of things. I just want this movie to focus on being its own thing. Paying love, paying homage, but don't stay stuck in the past so much. Be willing to branch out and take some risks. Now, obviously, taking risks doesn't always work. Sometimes it is better to play it safe. We saw that with Halloween Ends, in my opinion. But yeah, man, overall, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this movie has to say, what it brings to the table. And there's really only one way to truly determine if this movie's good or not, and that's to just sit down and watch the fucking thing, and that's just a matter of time. So definitely be expecting me to talk a lot about The Believer once it's released in theaters. We'll definitely do a spoiler-free review for sure when it does come out. But yeah, man, I'm excited for that. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by real quick, talking a little bit of The Exorcist Believer. The Pearl review is coming, like I said, just kind of had a busy week, kind of fell behind. But I'm glad I got to come up here and talk about a movie that I'm pretty fucking excited for better or for worse. So, until next time, guys, thank you as always for stopping by, supporting the channel, supporting the dream. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, keep watching horror. All right, guys, have a good day.